Hey everybody, Cinema Sickness here. My fellow Team Sickness member, Silent Mike, is running a contest. He wants to know what our top 5 favorite Blu-rays are. So this here's my video response to his question. Let's take a look at what they are. Now this contest was kind of hard for me because even though I absolutely love Blu-rays, it was sort of hard for me to pick my favorites out of them. I do have a decent Blu-ray selection, but not nearly as big as my DVDs. And if I had to pick 5 DVDs, that would be pretty simple. I'd probably pick out, some really special edition stuff or some really hard to find out-of-print titles, or just, some really, unique, interesting stuff like that. As far as Blu-ray goes, I don't really have anything overly special. They haven't been around long enough for me to have anything that's really out of print or any super fancy pants, special editions that are hard to get or anything like that. I don't have a lot of those. So I had to go through, pick out 5 of what I consider to be my favorite Blu-rays. And I'm not just talking about my favorite titles, because I could go through and say, this movie I really like or that movie I really like. I didn't want to do that because I do have a lot of my favorite movies on Blu-ray, have upgraded. And I didn't want to just, I felt like I was kind of cheating if I just said, here's my favorite movies. Anybody could really do that. But I wanted to go through, pick out 5 actual Blu-ray releases that I like for certain reasons, because of maybe special features or because of, maybe something about the release. So that's what I did. So here's the 5 movies. Number 5 on the list is Grindhouse. This one had to be on the list because it is Grindhouse in its entirety. Fans, including myself, were pretty pissed off when all we ever got was Planet Terror and Death Proof released separately, very little in the way of bonus features, and we didn't get any of the spoof trailers on those discs, which was definitely a shame. We were pretty upset. So we all wanted the actual entire movie to be released, and it finally was. Definitely had to pick this one up. This is a must-have for any fan of the movie. It is a brilliant release. Number 4 on the list is the Back to the Future 25th Anniversary Trilogy box set. This is a must-have for any Back to the Future fan. The movies look beautiful on Blu-ray. They look amazing in high def. Plus, this has a boatload of fantastic bonus features. Watching the movies were great. When I bought this, I watched it immediately. Had to ball watching them. I absolutely love these movies. But what I was most wanting to watch was the special features, because there are some great ones on here. If you're a fan of the movies, this is a must-have for any collector out there and any fan of the movie, just for the bonus material alone. Number 3 is the classic, The Phantom of the Opera. And the reason why I put this one on the list is because of what we get on this disc. We get 3 versions of the film. We get the 1929 reissue version in 24 frames per second, the 1929 reissue version in 20 frames per second, and the original 1925 version, unfortunately in standard definition, but it's pretty cool to get that. A lot of decent bonus features on here as well. If you're a fan of Phantom of the Opera, this here is the best release to pick up. Number 2 on the list is The Complete Metropolis. I love this movie. I fell in love with it the first time I saw it. It is an amazing, classic, silent German expressionist film. It's brilliant. It is a must-see. But the reason why this one makes it to the list is because this is the closest we've ever gotten to having a complete restored version of Metropolis. Now, even though this is called the Complete Metropolis, it's not 100% complete. It's the closest we've come to having a complete version, though, because for a while this film was actually lost, and then they started finding different cuts of it here and there. So what Kino did was they actually took every scene they found thus far, every scene that has been found thus far, strung them all together to make the most complete version of this movie that we've had thus far, and for that reason, this had to make it onto the list. It looks pretty good in Blu-ray as well. It's not perfect. It is a 1927 movie, so you take what you can get, but it is a great version of the movie to have. It's got some decent bonus features on it. If you're a fan of the movie, you gotta have this one. And then number 1 is Smallville, the complete 7th season. Not because I like the show, not because I like the season, but because this was my first ever Blu-ray. Picked this up 3 or 4 years ago at my local Big Lots. They were showing up there for whatever reason for only $5. For that price, I picked it up. It was a complete blind buy. I had never even seen a single episode of Smallville. I really knew very little about the show. I didn't even have a Blu-ray player yet. But for $5, I jumped on it, and I was very happy I did, because I ended up picking up the rest of the seasons. Thought it was a great show, really got into it. For $5, I had to pick this one up. I mean, I definitely had to do it for the $5, and I'm very happy I did. It started me off on my collecting of Blu-ray, went out, got myself a Blu-ray player. So this makes the number 1 spot because it was my number 1 Blu-ray. So there you go, Silent Mike. Those are the top 5 Blu-rays from my collection. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you later.